down to things that I did younger. For whatever reason, when I was young in school, when people are doing stuff that they have no business doing, sending nude photos, doing things that are not okay, sending it over the internet, I even prepared myself early in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Askdpros Business, where we speak to business owners, entrepreneurs. They come on the show to share their journey and their story in a way to motivate and inspire others. And on this particular episode, I've got Erica here. Erica is all the way from the States, guys, all the way from the States, and Erica is going to share her journey, her story, and hopefully, we'll get inspired by her journey. And me and Erica, we spoke earlier on before the show, and she's got a lot of things to talk about: business, how she started, challenges as well, and a bit of strategy for you guys that want to start your businesses as well. So Erica, on this show, we always start from the beginning, which means telling us how the journey started for you.
For me, I think that you're either born a leader or you're not. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the earlier you realize that in your journey, the more you can start paying attention to things and picking up knowledge on your way. So when you are ready to start your journey, it's easier for you to do. So throughout my life, clearly normal things, trauma things, everything. But recently, the more mindful I've gotten and more aware, I've started to look back on the preparation that I have been doing my whole life. I've been in finance, consulting, HR, management, all type of situations that have put me into places of giving advice or being there for people to talk to or being that person. But so I'm very spiritual, and it's always been my thing to talk to people, give them advice, be there for them. And so doing that at my job wasn't enough. So about 2 years ago, my sister came to me and she was like, you know what, honestly, I think you would be an amazing life coach. You have so much advice. And I was like, me? First of all, who am I to tell anybody anything? I'm me. I'm barely figuring it out for myself. But I started to do the coursework, started to coach people, and realized that's my purpose. This is why I was put here. So now I need to perfect it and now figure out doing it for a business for myself. So 2 years ago, I still worked at my corporate job. Clearly, I have to pay bills, but didn't want to miss out on my purpose and my calling because it kept being tugged at me. I just never really did anything about it. So I actually just went out on faith, started to take clients, and now I am here.
Yeah, absolutely. I know when starting a business, sometimes it's always a drag case of, you've got a 9 to 5 and you also want to keep the bills alive as well. I'm on the same boat as you as well, because I got a 9 to 5 as well. And I also have my side also as well. I always get this question. People always ask me, okay, how do I juggle my 9 to 5 and my also together? Do I leave my 9 to 5 and face the hustle? Now, the problem is when you leave your 9 to 5, how are you going to pay for your bills? How are you going to get things going? So it is always a struggle, But for you, what is the thing that is still keeping you to say to yourself, Erica, I must go on and push this dream forward. I must still do these things I'm doing. Knowing that I've got a 9 to 5, but I still need my side also. What is that driving force behind all that for you?
So if you do research, I'm not going to put myself up against I'm Bill Gates or anything, but if you've done research on any entrepreneur, anybody that has done anything, there's a risk involved. But how much are you willing to put a risk and invest in yourself? Are there going to be sacrifices? Absolutely. Are you going to need to be able to budget your money better and maybe cut down on things that aren't a necessity to survive? Yes. So there is that bumpy road that has to be had. So the question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to go on that ride and take those sacrifices? Because then if you are, then you're going to have to cut those times down at your 9 to 5 so you can invest more time, because you're only going to get out of your business what you invest in. So if you're giving 30 minutes a week, that's not going to go anywhere fast. But if you're investing more time in your business and less time in someone else's business and dream, then you get to see yours succeed instead of building someone else's up. Because while you're at your 9 to 5 every day, all day, whose dream's being built, yours or theirs?
Yeah, yeah.
And we only have a certain amount of hours in the day. I don't care if you want to sit up all day long, you can't give yourself more hours. So what makes more sense to you? Building what you want and seeing that happen, or continue to help build someone else's dream that's probably already a billionaire, if not more?
Yeah, absolutely, Erica. And I think for me, it's all about your purpose and your why. It's still about what you want from life. Do you want more, or you just want to be
Surviving.
yes, be in your 9 to 5, and just be okay. And again, another thing again that comes to my mind again is, being in your comfort zone. Some people just want to just be in their comfort zone. They don't love change. They don't want to rock the boat. They want to
Mhm.
just stay there and just have that sequence of life and say, okay, this is my life now. I'm not going to rock the boat. But for you, starting a business, and I know it's quite difficult. Starting a business, trying to put yourself out there is the difficult thing as well, And again, people often talk about, oh, if I start a business, does that mean I have to do everything? Yeah, you have to do everything, because if you don't have money to pay, if you're doing content creating or videos, accounting and all that, there's a lot that goes into business, But for you, how many roles do you play in your business? Do you play multiple roles? Is it a difficult thing to do? How do you go about all that challenges?
So the truth is, but if you paid attention to my story, my seat has always been in jobs where I had multiple hats, which was getting me prepared for this seat. So my seat in my business will always be the same seat. I do everything. Because even if let's say I do hire someone, okay? What happens if they get sick? They get cancer and they can't come in. I need to be able to sit in that seat until I can replace them. So I'm only looking at this as preparation for me to be able to do every seat if I had to. Do I know that in a little while I am going to have to build up to a space to have a team of people? Absolutely. I do have people right now that do help me with editing for my podcast, and also like little things like my promotional
Videos and stuff,
banners and stuff.
audio. Yeah.
So I know my limits as well. Okay. I'm not if I know I can't do something, I'm not going to sit here and spin my wheels for 40 hours trying to figure out something that I could have paid somebody to do. So you also need to know your limits and what you can and can't do. If you can do a lot of the work to get yourself off so that you can have more profits versus expenses, you're going to want to do as much as you can do in-house. But the things that are outside of your doing or capabilities, be okay with paying somebody. And it's not ridiculous pricing. Anything's possible.
Yeah, it is, man. And knowing your limits, as well, is good as well, But in knowing your limits, Erica, what is that thing that inspires you to do more, to put more in your business, to say?
I love it. I love Mondays. I've never loved a Monday in my life. When Sunday night or Sunday morning came, I would be like, oh my God, Monday's coming tomorrow. I have to go sit at this job all day. I hate it. Now that I have invested in myself and finally, and okay, so let's take it away from I don't want people to feel like everybody needs to start a business. That's not real. Okay. There's more Indians than chiefs on this world. Like you said, some people are just comfortable in their seats, and that's okay. But make sure that the seat that you're sitting in is your purpose, because when you find your purpose, you don't have to look at work like work. It's like an enjoyment. You get a satisfaction from it. Like, I can't wait to get on the phone with my clients. I can't wait to have these kind of discussions. It's not like a chore for me. So even if I'm sick, people would be like, oh, you're sick. Why are you still working? Because I don't feel like it's at work. I feel like it's my purpose. Like, this is my thing. So it just comes easy for me. And when you find that, you find yourself wanting to do it more. That's why I give so much energy to my business, because I love what I'm doing. I'm enjoying every part of it. So I have like that drive in me, like, let's go, let's do this, because it's something that I do well, very easy, effortlessly, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Good. But for you, enjoying your journey and loving your story, the whole thing surrounding your journey, why living and loving life? Why that name? Because people often say, oh, if I want to start a business, I want the name to be this, to be that, my branding, my logo, my everything already, But for you, living and loving life just seems like a name that's carved out of your story, your journey, your life. Why that name, living and loving life?
Because that's my passion. I am living and loving my life, and I want everybody that comes across my board, or I see, or even get to touch, live and love their life. Because the difference between just surviving and living are two different things. And until you experience it, it's kind of hard to understand and grasp. But loving every part of you, the good and the bad, what you do, what you're producing, what you're giving back to your communities, what you're putting back into society matters. So if you're not doing that at your full potential, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if I can help people figure out that seat, that's why I do what I do. And that's why I chose that name.
Yeah, nice. But what has been the most difficult thing for you going on this path, going on this journey for you? What has been the most difficult thing so far?
Surrendering, knowing that, like you said, bills have to get paid. I have a son. I need to feed him. That's a must. But I have my faith in God is so amazing that anytime I even think I want to stress out, because I'm on my right path, he plugs in whatever I don't see coming before it's a need. I haven't missed a bill. I haven't missed a food for me and my son to eat. Nothing has been missed. I've changed my lifestyle because of my own insecurities to make sure that my safety net stays the same. But I haven't even needed to touch the safety net, and I've continued. I've dropped my corporate role to part-time, and I've made the same amount that I would make, if not more, with doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, but if I say, oh, looking back your journey, your story, would you have done anything differently from what you're doing right now?
Mm-hmm. What would I have done differently?
Yes.
Nothing. Not one thing. I needed every step that I took. I needed it for one purpose or another, even if I haven't realized what I'm using it for today. But a lot of the steps that I've taken that I was questioning, like, why am I put in this position? Why am I being treated this way? Or why am I working this job so hard at zero pay? Not knowing that it was preparing me for now. When I say I can do anything for the business, I can do anything for the business. And that's because of the seats I sat in. I can do the accounting. I can do this. I can do that. Clearly, editing and stuff is not my thing. But,
Yeah.
but I mean, you name it, I got it. And it's because I allowed myself to go through life, that journey, take experiences, and use them for the good now.
Yeah, talking about editing, and all that, I think for me, when I started this podcast, that was the big kind of I struggled with because I had to learn from the scratch, recording audio, trying to make it sound better and doing all that videos as well. I had to go. YouTube was my friend. I won't lie to you.
Yeah.
YouTube was my friend. So I think, like you said, you wear many hats, and I did that. And I'm still doing that as well now, because right now my 9 to 5 is got this going on as well. And I've got another podcast. I've got like 2 podcasts I run, differently. So there's one that this is my business podcast, but the other podcast is about, my job, what I do as a project planner and talking to other project planners. There are loads of things I do right now. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, what's giving me this drive? What's that thing that's pushing me, that's telling me, because the thing is, if you don't start, you never know.
Yep.
It's like a moving train. If that train don't move, you don't get to your destination. I think it keeps evolving. So I think for me, the first thing is just to start, like baby steps. You start walking, crawling. So, but business is difficult, starting a business is difficult, not even talking about branding and, putting yourself out there as well. That's another thing entirely, but for you, what is branding to you when it comes to branding a business, your personal branding to say, what does branding mean to you?
Branding is huge for me. And again, down to things that I did younger. For whatever reason, when I was young in school, when people are doing stuff that they have no business doing, sending nude photos, doing things that are not okay, sending it over the internet, I even prepared myself early in life. Like, don't put yourself in different situations that people can pull up on you later, because your seat for later is going to be in a higher place where people can't wait to find bad dirt on you. So branding for me is being you and taking you and incorporating that into your business. And that's your passion. So as long as you branded yourself properly, you're just exposing who you are. That's it. But as long as you took care of that throughout your life, you don't have any damage control.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone that wants to start a business from scratch, all the way from scratch? What would you say to that person?
Start. Just start. So I've taken marketing classes, business classes, and one thing that I took away from the business class was you have to produce a product that people are going to buy. That's great. You have an idea. Okay. But is this idea sellable? So you test it. Clearly, when you're starting a business, you need to know that a lot of things get away for free. People give out, little samples of let's say you're starting I don't know, laundry soap business. Tide sends it to all the homeowners, a sample. The reason for that is to get their name out there. So you have to know that you're going to have to give things away for free. So produce whatever you want to start. Send it out. Do focus group. See what you get back. What kind of feedback? Do they like it? Is this good? If you get tons of good feedback, you got something. Now start. Put it out there. I'm not saying go buy a business, go open an office, spend all this crazy money. That's what people's misinterpretation is too, is starting a business. I need all of this startup cost. No, like you said, you need baby steps. Have an idea, make sure you have a product and test it. And then you go from there.
Yeah, but testing the product is good, because you want to create that awareness. Because I think for me, people buy from people they like, people they know. And again, another thing that comes to my mind is, building relationships as well. And you have to be relatable as well. And you being a coach, Erica, being a coach, speaking to people and, telling them how to do things, how to get things done, What is mentorship to you? Is it important? Is it something that we should all gear towards? Because I know that when you want to do things, it's good to learn from someone or work on someone's part that's done it before. But for you, mentorship, how important is mentorship in starting a business or owning a business to say?
So mentorship to me is awesome because it helps you not run into so many brick walls. If you follow behind someone's blueprint, I'm not saying you're going to copy and paste it, but you can see what the logistics are, what it kind of looks like. And then you can even critique it and be like, where do you see there's a need to fix this to be better? And then that's what you implement.
Yeah. So the reason why I ask this question, because I know there are questions I get as well, like, oh, I want to start this. Is it better to mirror somebody to kind of like walk through their path as well, because I want to do this and he's doing that as well, is it good? For my answer is the same as you as well, it's good to have a mentor, to mirror someone that's doing the same thing that you're doing and just to learn from them. Like me, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of people that are in my circle doing what they are doing, seeing what they are doing and trying to not to copy them, have my own style as well, but probably like kind of make it different and better or, just to have an idea around, whatever it is they're doing and how to make my audio better, my video better and things to do in terms of promoting my podcast as well. So all those things are things that you kind of like mirror people that they are doing it. Or if you have a mentor, it even makes it better. But for you, where are you going with this? I know living and loving life is your thing, but from this, what's the next thing for you?
Honestly, I think being a speaker. I think I have the life coach in my mind, but I think there might be bigger things for me as far as speaking because the doors that are opening and the opportunities that are coming my way pretty quickly. Another thing about being a business owner is never be afraid of changing or pivoting. You can start one way, but if society and the world is going a different way, don't be afraid to move with it. You can't stay stagnant because things are always evolving and changing. And you don't want to be one of those businesses that are left behind. So you have to be having that willingness to be able to adapt to what's working for that time.
Yeah, rightly said, Erica. That's a very valid point. If you look at the likes of Nokia, the phone, they didn't embrace the change, and that happened. And you look at Blockbuster, that happened as well. I think change is something that is constant in life, and it's inevitable. But the thing is that people don't really like change, do they?
No, that's the thing. That's why people are there's a lot of problems are people are stuck in their ways of everything because change brings a little frustration and scared and people are afraid of being afraid.
Yeah, but because if you love doing something and you just love it that way, maybe probably you like your eggs in a particular way and you go abroad and they give you something else, you're like, oh my God, I don't want this. I want the way I want my egg. But I think sometimes you can just love that a bit of adventure as well, a bit of change. You never know what's going to happen, So that's why companies like, if you look at Apple and Samsung and all those big tech companies as well, they keep evolving. I think when Tesla started with electric cars, I think a lot of those car companies were looking at, okay, this is the way to go. But now Tesla's done it. It's good. And they're all embracing it.
And all they're doing is going and grabbing his motto to bringing it to their company and changing it. Why waste the time to reinvent the wheel again when somebody's done it? Just look at their paper and be like, oh, let's change this. Let me put my style in there and do it. But why take that time? You work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, it's about making it better, like they're looking at Airbnb. The model is the hotel. That's the model. They didn't change that. But the thing they changed is like, you can just stay in someone's house instead of just going to the hotel. Sometimes it's better. You never know. I think for me, change is good. I think we can all embrace that. If you don't embrace change, things will definitely leave you behind, man. 100, man. Definitely leave you.
And then how do we get better? Change is just repetitive. It's the same thing again, copy and paste. So who's challenging it and who's trying to be better? You're good with mediocre, or do you want to be better?
Yeah, well, I think going through that route, I think it's a lot of, would I say failure or learning from your mistakes? Because if you're trying to change a product, or change an idea, there are probably some failures right there. And you take your failure, probably make it better, turn into a better idea. So it's just one of those things, But Erica,
so failure shouldn't be that big of a deal. And I think anytime failure, I get it, failure hurts, but more confidence you have in yourself, that failures are just mistakes that need to be improved. Doesn't mean it's the end all be all.
Yeah, well, for me, I think if you don't fail, you don't learn, you never know. It just makes you stronger. You don't feel backward, you feel forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to say.
Yeah.
Well, for you, I know you're quite busy with your work, your day job, your hustle, coaching and all that, your business as well. When it comes to work-life balance, people always talk about, work-life balance, how do I have time for myself and, get my energy up? What do you do that tells you, this is the time for me to rest, this is time for me to do the things I want to do, work as well. For you, what is that work-life balance thing for you?
So I have a lot going on. And then I'm on top of that, a single mom. So I have time, block times, period. Nothing moves out of those block times. Everything has its time. So I'm doing work from these times to this time. I shut my work phone off, no emails, no nothing until my work day starts again.
Okay, good. So what you do is just block off your time and that's it.
That's it. Because if I let it overflow, then things get out of control and then the work-life balance is off, because now I'm letting work take over my life or my life take over my work, and then I'm not productive. I can't get things done. The more rest you take and the better you are with yourself, being, self-love and taking care of yourself, the more healthier you are. And then that's the more productive you can be. Because if you wake up on Monday and you haven't gotten any rest because you've worked all weekend, how productive and how much energy do you have to put into your workday on Monday?
Yeah, you're totally right. You have to save that energy to productive as well, and successful as well. Now we all create this good business, good environment. You want to be fulfilled in whatever you're doing as well. But for you, getting things done, and hitting your goals, what does success mean to you? Being successful in business.
So for me, success looks like being able to just help one person. And what I want to tell myself and what I have to keep getting back to myself is, I'm not into business to make money. Clearly, I need to make money to survive. But the business that I'm doing is to legitly help people. With that being said, I know I will be taken care of. Clearly, I have to do it as a monetational thing. I can't expect to give charity and make money. But I don't want to get caught up to where I get lost in, I need to get this amount of money to be successful and lose my vision or my passion behind what I'm doing.
And again, to add something to that, to be in business, that business has to be making money. Like you said, you want to have money to do the things that keep the business moving, keep the business growing. But I think your idea is good, like you're not going in for the money, although the money is important, but that's not your goal. That's not your end goal. I like what you said, if you can help one person, and it's always a good feeling to help someone cross to the other side of the road, to have that love, that empathy, where the world is now, everybody just want to just take and take. I think at some point we should be able to say, I also want to give back as well.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing with my podcast, yeah, there's no monetization, nothing for now. I'm just putting all my resources into it, trying to give free content out there, just trying to just give back, based on my journey and my story as well. Getting into employment was hard, it was very difficult for me. From that, I got inspired to start my first podcast, which now, by the way, I kind of like stopped that now. I'm now on a different path now, but without starting that, I won't be where I am today. If you
But
understand, if you
don't be
get what
mad
I
at
mean.
that. Just go with it.
No, no, no,
Don't
no,
be,
no,
you
no, no,
know,
no, 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 no.
go with it.
I believe that where the journey is taking you, it just evolves. The fact that something doesn't work out, that doesn't mean that's the end of the road for you. The next thing will always come. The most important thing, yeah, I think one of the things I would take from this conversation is that, you just have to start. If you don't start, you never know. You never know,
You
Erica.
never
You
know.
never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
But it's not, people need to know that you have to, everything's a commitment. You have to commit to yourself that this is what you want to do and really put in the effort. You can't expect to be like, oh, I'm trying and then nothing come from it. I'm not saying that because I love what I do and it comes easy, that it's easy. That there's still times when I don't want to do it, but I have to, because this is what I want for me and this is what I want to be as my contribution back to society. So I need to work at that. It doesn't just come sit at my door and, I do the, put in the work and the extra mile, but because I want to.
Absolutely. In terms of strategies, in business, like what you've done for yourself, your lessons learned, your story, in terms of developing the right strategy for businesses, business owners, people that want to start business as well. What do you think is the perfect strategy? Is there a perfect strategy, starting a business, in terms of starting the business, growing the business and scaling? Is there a strategy to that?
I don't think there's a perfect strategy to anything, to be honest. I think that there's a lot of different circumstances and elements that are put into play.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on people's where they are, because listen, you can come to me and say you want to start a business, but you have no safety net as far as savings or anything to help you. Or you can say you want to start a business and you need a lot of capital to start it, but you have no way of getting that. Mm-hmm. So just to give a cookie cutter way, no.
I get the questions as well, like, okay, if I want to start a business, what strategy do I need to take in building the business, from the business name, the branding, then to your social media? I know a lot of business guys out there, they talk about strategies, and I'm with you on this as well. I think there's no perfect strategy. I think you just start. I think
you just have to start.
Yeah.
So clearly you need, those are the basics. You need a business name. Shouldn't even need to be discussed. If that is a discussion, then we probably need to take a different road. But saying yes, those are all the basic things. But as far as getting out there, it depends. Like, what if you came to me and said you wanted to start a construction business? Okay, well, that costs money because you have to come up with the upfront money for all the materials and all of that. Where are you going to get that from?
Equipment as well.
Yeah, all of that. But if you came to me and said you wanted to start a hairline, okay, do you have the funds to front the first couple money to start the website, to get the pictures going, that and that? So everybody is different, but the thing is, get your basics down, get a business name, have a vision and a mission, so you know where you're trying to go with that, because that's great, you have an idea, but what do you want to do with that idea? So make sure you have a vision or a mission on where you would like to see the business go, and then you can put that into a brainstorm and start breaking off little pieces and start jumping them off as you go.
For me, I think you also have to have the passion as well. Be passionate, about what you want to do. Because if you don't have the passion, I think you can easily just drop off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For instance, doing this
drive
podcast
won't be there.
Yeah, doing this podcast, not getting anything from me, but I'm still doing it anyway. For me, it's a passion now. I just love speaking to people like you all over the world, and
it's pretty cool.
Tell me your journey, your story, and we just kind of like.
So hold on, you said that the passion just started now?
No. My passion has been a long time ago. I've been doing this for like 3 years now.
Okay.
So
did you not know that this is your purpose and passion? And after doing it and being there, you've realized?
I always knew that in the beginning. I always knew that some way I want to get into business one way or the other, right?
Okay.
I want to be a business. I always know that, okay, I want to be a business owner, right? And having that thought already, that's where the passion started from. And now I'm in the environment where I speak to business owners, right?
Okay.
That's one. And in speaking to business owner, I'm also creating a business as well. You understand? You get me? So everything is working out for me. You
No, so
understand?
do you just realize what happened? You simply put yourself in a situation and the doors just continued to open.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
So
if you didn't take that risk and put yourself there,
no,
you have nothing.
yes, never going to happen. You know, you
Nope.
just need.
So if you're in your comfort zone and you stay at that 9-to-5 job that's paying you good money, you're never going to put yourself in opportunities for doors to open for you differently because you're here. The doors are not there. You got to remove yourself from there to be able to see the different doors that are open and that are for you.
It's like, for me, it was just like getting on the bus, right? You get on the bus, you never know what you're going to meet getting on that bus, but you're going to go from point A to point B. You got to take the bus, right? Or drive or train or plane or whatever, for you to get to point B. The thing is, if you don't take that first step to get on the bus ride or the plane, car, whatever, you're never going to get to point B. If anything happens along that journey, you probably reroute your way, or you probably just, something's going to happen along the way. But the ultimate goal is your point B, right? Starting days, obviously, there's been difficult times for me as well, but I know where I'm going.
Good.
So, and nothing is going to stop that. Hopefully,
Good.
fingers crossed.
No, if you're on the right path and that's
Yeah.
your purpose, nothing will stop it. You're going to have those things thrown at you, especially if it's for good, because that's, wants to be blocked. So if you're doing something for good, you're going to get a lot of different hurdles, but you need to know that you are doing the right thing. And this is all for a good purpose at the end.
Just to ask, did you grow up with people they're in business? Did you grow up around that environment, business people?
Yeah. But like you said, knew always that I was going to be a business owner. I didn't know what type of business. I just know that's my thing. And I've been told it multiple times. I feel it. I know it. But yes, I would have to say my grandma, I wouldn't say she owned a business, but she would flip homes, which was basically her own. She would buy a property, fix it up, sell it for a more price, and then buy another property. And then my mom had her own daycare that she started growing up.
Okay. But if you ain't doing what you're doing right now, what would you do?
Probably be miserable making someone else's dream come true.
Oh my God, man. I think it's good I like your vision and your purpose as well. You just need to know what you want. I just go for it, because I think building other people, I think we said this a couple of minutes ago, like building other people's dreams, is that what you really want to do? And I think now, probably pre-COVID, or now that the COVID is, probably just still there anyway, I think people have started to realize that, I need to do something for myself. And I think organizations right now, they are embracing that thing that, okay, he or she works for my company or works for me, but the fact that he does something outside the job is still okay. Because my managers and my directors in the office in the organization, they listen to my podcast. And yeah, they listen to it. They call me and tell me, oh, Kes, you're doing an amazing job. Because for them, it's a good image as well.
It's not a conflict of interest?
No, because what I'm doing is different. Okay, I work in a construction company, right? So I'm not doing anything construction. I'm not bidding for jobs or construction. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm speaking to people that have got experience all over the world, business owners and project planners like me as well, just speaking to them, and they tell their journey and their story, So they kind of like it. Okay, this guy, for the fact that he can deliver his 9 to 5, but he still has time to do this as well, which is great. So I think for me, companies, they see that as a good thing, but it becomes a threat when maybe they see that you're getting a lot of traction and, you're everywhere. Everyone wants to speak to you.
Then they're going to be like, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
But then by the time you get to that stage or that level, you should know that it's time for you to move.
First of all, before you get to that level, you should have been gone before that.
Yes.
Because why are you you're not going to, honestly, you won't get there if you continue to be that much at that job. I'm just being honest. You don't have the time. How are you going to take the meetings? How are you going to do the calls? How are you going to do all that? You're at their job probably 60 hours a week. So if you want to grow, you're going to have to take a little, maybe do a cut down like 2 hours. Instead of giving them the 8 hours, give them 6 hours. You can make it work. You're just going to have to cut a couple bills down in there. If the type of job you have, you make that kind of money. So you can drop a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there to save. Start pulling back a little by little, because then you're also training yourself to be ready to make that step. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're not doing a whole drastic, okay, part-time. Don't do part-time. Maybe start off with an hour a day off. Instead of getting off at 5, get off at 4. Do that for like 3 months. And then in 6 months, up it to 2 hours, so that you can financially get yourself financially okay with doing that, and mentally, so you don't feel so like, oh my God, what am I really doing? Figured out ways to make it work. People figure it out. If you were to lose your job right now and you only had half of your income, you would figure it out.
Definitely. You definitely figure that out. You always figure out something to do.
It always works itself out. So if you want it, you do it. If you don't, then sit on the sideline.
It's
so
good. It's
you
good.
need to send your email Monday. I basically give you a free little coaching thing. You need to send your email next Friday, letting them know you're going to start getting off an hour early.
It's good you say this, but people keep saying, "Oh, it's difficult. I can't do it."
Do it.
How do I go about it? I understand. It's good. It's good. For us to go, for us to live this. I think we've touched about a lot of things. You've dropped some powerful nuggets, from powerful things, on this conversation. For us to live this, and for someone that will listen to you, and say, "Oh, I listened to Erica and she said this." What was that thing that you want someone to take away from this?
Just to start. Just start. You'll never, like you said, you made a great point. You will never know what doors are waiting for you unless you start. And it's never too late. You're not too old. You're not too young. Whenever you feel like you're ready, start.
Just start, man. Just do it, guys.
Start.
Listen to Erica, and Erica is just telling us to just start, man. So, guys, take Erica's cue and just start. Erica, for those that want to get in touch with you, social media is big right now. People are everything is social right now. Where is the best place to get in touch with you?
My website has everything. If you www.livingandlovinglife.us. My Instagram's connected to that. You can subscribe for my monthly newsletter, where I send out little tools here and there to kind of help people get in a better space. Yeah. And I offer a 30-minute free session for all of your listeners and everyone that's interested.
Nice one, Erica, man. It's been nice having you on the show. Great show. Love the questions. You also asked me questions as well. It's as if we're interviewing each other, which is
sorry.
No. Yeah, I like it, which is great. I think for me, having these kind of things is not like a one-sided thing. That's why I don't send out questions, because some people will say, "Oh, I want the question," but I always shy away from that, because I want it to just be like a natural conversation. Like, I don't want it to just be like, "Okay, I'll ask you this. What's your name?" You say that. Okay, what do you do? It's never really a good conversation.
Right. It's not natural.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. So, Erica, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know time is precious, but you still made time out to be on the show. And I like that. I love the conversation.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me.
I'm grateful. Yeah, and I'm grateful as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am willing to come back and speak to your people whenever you want. All right. Have an amazing weekend.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too. Take care. Bye. Yeah, speak soon. Bye.